Hey everybody, welcome to the Weekly Tall Talk. My name is Corey. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am super stoked. We have a wonderful episode for you. And if you are new to the show, usually we have a topic that we set up with a would you rather question or a short story. And today we've written some short stories, so I hope that you are ready to listen to them. But before we can get into the thesis of our show, I have two of my best friends sitting right in front of me for the first time in my life.
Oh, shit.
Ever.
Ever. We've just been virtual friends forever. Yeah. Pen pals, if you will.
Yeah. 20 plus years. Virtual friends.
Hey, guys, don't
Xbox
look like
friends.
how your pictures were.
Yeah.
I'm photoshopped in. Those two lovely voices you're hearing are my friends Cale and Xavier, and we're going to open up with Cale. How are you doing today, brother?
I'm doing great, dude. Very exciting stuff happening for us and our setup and all the hard work you've been doing. So I'm enjoying the fruits of your labor.
Thank you.
And I've been sitting back, and now it's time for me to enjoy.
Cool, man. Cool.
So all in all, very good. Yeah, that's about it. Xavier, how are you doing?
Good.
How are you doing?
I'm good, and it's good to be in our studio with together again. This has been awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, for the first time.
For the first time ever.
Yep.
And we get to test out some new equipment today.
True.
And,
Very nice. You probably could tell the difference. If not, shut up.
Yeah, don't let us know if you can't tell the difference.
Please.
But
we want to enjoy it, though.
without further ado, we got a show to get to. Are you boys excited?
I'm
I
super
am.
excited.
This is, let's kick it off.
All
do
right,
it.
let's get into it. And here is the short story for today. After a lifetime of research and funding, you finally found it. The long-lost upper half of the Rosetta Stone, thus completing the whole 2-meter-high stone tablet. What's fascinating is that you notice the symbols at the top don't match the other language you know of, nor can the rest of your team place where the language is from. Perhaps there's some scholar in the world who knows how to decipher this alien text. Now it's up to you to determine what to do with one of the most important discoveries of the decade.
Ho, ho, ho.
It's quite a find.
I know.
For those of you who don't know, the Rosetta Stone is kind of broken into 2/3 with the upper half of it missing, and it helped us translate different languages. It's a really fascinating piece of history.
Amazing.
Mhm.
And we discovered the upper half.
Damn,
missing
we
it.
did it. We
What
did it,
was the
boys.
size of it? Like 2 meters tall?
2 meters. So
Yeah, that's-
6.5 feet,
Yeah.
just about.
Damn.
So that's like
Hundreds of pounds.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly.
one giant stone.
Yeah.
Just lug that thing around.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
So with that discovery in mind, would you guys rather find a scholar and donate the artifact to them to learn the new world-changing secrets, or sell the item to a private buyer to be put into their personal collection, but you'll be set for life? So, Xavier, you made the first grunt. Let's go with you, buddy.
Grunting has betrayed you once again.
It always bites in the grunt.
It's never bode well for you.
No. All right. So, what should I pick here? What would I do? I think I don't want to donate it to or sell it to a private collector. I think I'd want to donate the artifact to
Okay.
learn more about it.
It belongs in a museum.
It belongs in a museum.
So do you.
I mean, that would pique my interest as to learning what this text can do, or what can it like complete.
Yeah.
If it complete the whole Rosetta. So I mean, it's the whole completion of it as
Right.
is, but I would want to know what new knowledge might come from this, other than just selling it off to somebody to have in their private collection. Yeah, I mean, it's set for life. That sounds great, but
Right.
I think I want to know what my curiosity is piqued, and I want to know what alien text
Yeah.
is in
Yeah.
this.
I agree, man. Like not having any idea what this language is on a tablet that is, I don't know, 4,000 years old, something like that.
Something
I
like
didn't-
that, yeah.
I should have checked. I didn't.
That's old. It's old.
It's an old tablet, you guys.
It's been many years.
Yeah, like the
Many.
iPad 1. But yeah, to find an alien language that nobody's ever seen before, like that would be just the greatest discovery ever.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
huge.
To go back to how old, and it was the Rosetta Stone fragment was erected in 196 BCE.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's old.
Yeah.
Damn. Those are numbers I have no idea how to compute.
No.
I don't know either.
No.
That's
I can barely compute 2023 just happened.
yeah, because that's
Yeah,
100,
right.
196 before COVID.
Right.
So
That's like kind of like the marker. Does COVID happen?
Yeah, nothing
There it
happened
is.
pre-COVID,
Nothing.
and then nothing happened
Nothing.
during COVID.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
And now we have a show somehow. So Xavier's he's gonna donate the alien secrets.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you doing, man?
honestly, man,
Yeah.
you know, I had the same thought as Xavier. I would really like to know,
Okay,
but my realistic answer,
there you go.
I mean,
hey,
set for life.
it can mean anything.
Yeah, I mean, what if set for life is I get killed immediately?
That's true. That's the rest of
By
your
the-
life.
Yeah, that is the rest. It's over. I'm set because I'm dead. Um,
The billionaire kills you. Fucking Bezos
right,
is like,
exactly.
all right,
Bezos has
I
the
need
make that
this
man
secret
alive.
just for Amazon. But no, a private collector would be. I wonder what kind of money, because this. I don't know if you could put a price on this. I don't know what I would like ask for
Yeah,
in terms of like a monetary value of something of this significance. Like you said, it's like it would pique my interest enough to where I was like, I would want to know, but I'm also
Yeah.
going to charge you like an insane amount of money.
And you know
Trouble.
what you have there,
Mm.
so
Yeah,
That's true.
exactly.
you know you have.
I can't like replicate it,
Oh.
fake it. I sell them a fake. It's just concrete from outside.
I made this.
I made it. I etched it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the Rosetta Stone. It's reinforced concrete.
Yeah, they had that back then. It was lost in time.
Yeah.
lost
but-
technology.
Yeah, I would like
make it.
to get it to someone to translate to find out what it is. And
Well, this private buyer ain't doing that.
no, they're not.
He's just giving you a lot of money.
But
Yeah.
I'm also saving us all the conspiracy theories that would come out of the woodwork having this taken. They're like, it is the aliens. See, the pyramids came from the aliens that
But-
visited us, and that's why they want the tablet.
Wait, so you would quash conspiracy theories by donating an ancient language text to a private buyer?
Exactly, they'd never know. that I
Oh,
found
Well,
it.
perfect
well,
plan.
it wouldn't be donating. He'd
And
be
then I wouldn't have
selling
Oh, excuse me.
it.
Forgive the charity speak.
Yeah, you're going to be purchasing.
He want
this.
money.
That Venmo transaction coming through.
Man, you can
My-
only do up to 500 per transaction. It's going to take a while.
It's going to take like 2 years of transactions,
What if that's it though?
It's my
$500
money.
a day?
and I want it now.
It's a joke for us.
That's a joke for us. Nobody needs to know.
Sorry.
Shout out to Lowell. No, dude, I would charge an insane amount of money.
What? So give me a figure right now. Right fucking now. Yeah.
I want $1 billion. $1
$1 billion?
billion.
$1 billion.
I would-
I don't know if we can keep that one.
I don't know if we can keep that one.
Huh.
We can keep it.
Very interesting choice. I liked it, but
You know what? We're leaving it in.
we're leaving it in. Done. If they got a complaint, that's one email we'll get. No, but I'm looking for a bill. I'm looking to hook up all my boys.
One bill,
Oh,
okay.
I'm looking to hook up my family. Set for life. I think I need $1 billion.
Is that
Yeah.
is that really enough though?
I think so. I don't think I would live. I don't think I would live very extravagantly. I think Debbie and I are pretty modest. So
You
just paying off
For the $1
everything.
billion,
That
you
would last
if
you.
you stayed modest after having $1 billion, I would kill you and take the money.
So I have to. My life depends on our
He's like,
spending.
Yeah.
Corey's like, you're not spending it.
You're not
wisely
spending enough. I'm gonna have to kill you. You're gonna pay me, gain me.
Yeah, of course, dude.
Damn,
I'll get all buffed too.
damn. We get just
Oh.
roided up.
Yeah,
There
dude.
you
The
go.
three of us, and then you turn on me.
It's literally the only way I can take you down.
Is-
Damn. Needs a lot of horse
He's
tranquilizers.
got it roid up.
Yeah.
No, I think $1 billion, because I'd hook you guys up with
Well,
an
you-
extravagant amount of money.
$1 billion, I think you'd be set for.
We'll literally give you
Life.
guys like
I mean, what did George Lucas sold Star Wars the
$4
franchise?
billion.
He'll never use that.
right.
Yeah,
I
his
mean,
entire
he,
life.
will
Immense
never
amount
use
of
the
money.
billions he had before he sold.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just sitting on that
never blows your-
generational
right.
wealth.
So the reason I'm asking like only $1 billion, like the reason I'm saying that is because like I'm considering people like the top 1% of the top 1% who have hundreds of billions of dollars.
Okay.
And I'm assuming this is the private seller you're selling it, or private buyer selling it to.
Oh,
imagine
So,
so.
like,
Bezos for sure.
you wouldn't go like $5 billion. Like, yeah, you're set
No.
for life. But
Now,
like,
now that you're doing this, I want
Well-
77 billion.
7.
7 of them.
$77 billion.
I want 77 billion. or
Wow.
I'm walking and I'm
Okay.
taking my forklift with me to
Yeah.
move this fucker.
Exactly.
Making a slow exit out of there with my forklift. I'm out. Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
So just
77
drop it
billion.
on them. Kill them.
I mean, that's fair.
That's true.
Yeah.
Here,
Then,
take
you
it
could,
up
ta-
close
then you
look.
could take the money afterwards.
Oh,
true.
yeah.
Yeah, double deal.
The Rosetta Stone is a translator for death.
You keep the stone and the money.
No, but realistically, I mean, I would like to donate it and know what it means, but who's to say that they don't want to do that and I get paid?
That's true. I guess they
They
could
have a-
donate it in their own name.
Yeah, they have a
Like
and they also
I
have it-
funded the archaeology
yeah,
study,
exactly.
right?
They funded the research that went into it, but they're going to get all the credit for it.
Right,
Right.
right.
So maybe we both get it, and I still have my 77 bill.
That's a pretty cool figure, man.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like
easy
it too.
easy to live on $77 billion.
Me and my loved ones.
I
and
don't
my
think you'd have
phones.
to work ever.
You would
again.
literally.
You wouldn't
none
have
of
to
us
do
would.
anything.
We would do whatever we want all the time. I would never. I would literally give you $1 billion.
You'd never have to do anything. And
Yeah.
then you can invest that money and just
Of the
keep making
7.
money.
Ah, man, I would cause so many problems
Oh, yeah.
by donating to people I think are worthy.
Oh no,
And you can also help a lot of people with that money too.
No,
no, that's not where we're at.
no, that's not what this
See,
is.
now he's going
man.
to kill you for
Fuck you.
suggesting something like that.
You
know
fucking
how-
suck.
You know how he is. Now you've got him riled up.
Yeah, come on, man.
Oh, my bad.
Take my money.
Enough is enough.
All right. Well, I have an answer for this. one.
Yes.
Okay,
I wanna know.
what's your
I want to
answer?
know. Be the tiebreaker.
I have
This
to
always
think
says
about it.
ends
So
up.
hold on.
What's your answer?
What is it? What'd you choose?
You know what? I gotta be honest, man. I'm selling it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah. I want to donate it. I want to look good for the world because
Oh,
of
yeah.
this thing that I assumedly painstakingly found and rediscovered.
Right.
But I like money and I like not doing things.
You know, money's good.
Yeah, money's real good.
Yeah, what if you just like happened to stumble upon this? Like you kicked it with your foot and you were so mad that you kicked this random rock
I mean,
that you just unearthed it a little bit more and you're like, oh, it has a symbol on
Yeah,
it.
you wanted to
busted
like
your toe.
keep hitting it, so
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you dug it out to
Yep.
like see if you could smash it, and then you're like, ah, fuck, there's scribblings on it.
yeah, I stubbed my toe and I'm mad.
This might be worth something. We got something here.
So you would sell it too.
Yeah, I would. I mean, listen, if you're paying me that money, you can, like we say, you can donate it. You can do whatever you want with your tablet.
What
I'm
much-
set.
How much money would you ask for?
I think my asking price would be about 10 bill.
10 bill?
Yeah,
That's light.
That's
That's
a
light.
reasonable,
That's light work.
yeah.
Nah, we need more.
It's not the egregious amount that Cale said.
70.
Hey, man, you
when I
guys
pushed
talked me
him
up.
into it.
You talked me
You
up to
did.
it.
You're like, 1 bill? Come on.
I noticed-
77.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
noticed
Mr.
Corey mentioned, he said, you wouldn't take 5 billion, and then he went 10.
Oh,
So what does that tell you? He wanted me to get short.
Kale's, you know what? Xavier's going to say 10 billion and one.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Price is Right style. So he gets He was closer to the real price.
Tablet.
Yeah.
Transportation not included.
Yeah.
Hey, but you get a handshake from Drew Carey.
Oh,
There you go.
Bob Barker's dead as
I mean,
fuck.
that's probably an accomplishment in its own right.
I was,
Drew Carey?
Yeah. Friend of the show, Drew. Whenever you want to come back, buddy, let us know.
We'll be waiting.
Love you, buddy.
Yeah, love you, Drew. Love you, Drew. Hope you're doing good.
Yeah.
So, are you getting a clear picture who you're doing business with now?
Yeah.
Two guys that went straight for the money.
Straight for the money. Oh,
You know what, Xavier? It's I don't know if this is an indictment on you, but you've given a lot more genial answers than I had anticipated.
Yeah, like respectfully, I thought you would be like a maniac.
I thought you
Whenever we'd ask these questions, and you were way more level-headed than I gave you credit for. So I love you more now, but I had a very skewed view of you.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
that's hilarious.
when you talk like when we're just like out eating Chinese food, you're a fucking monster. But when you're on the show, I guess you got to put on airs.
I gotta put on airs.
Gotta go look good sometime.
No, of course I would save those children. Of course I would donate the Rosetta
Yeah,
Stone.
donate it.
My heart is that big.
Then I
Actually, really
organized
small.
the heist that's coming back.
Oh,
take it. You
Taking
lost
it
the
back.
Rosetta Stone? What do you mean you lost it? It's gone.
Sorry.
So I had a question then for the alien text
Ooh.
on the Rosetta Stone.
Yeah.
I just have to think of the question first.
Oh.
I was going to go into the alien language, like how interesting that would be, that aspect of this.
Oh yeah, so like
whenever you're donating this and you want to find out what this text means or what it is, like what are you hoping for? Are you hoping for like a secret message? What if it's useless information?
I mean,
that
that would
would
drink
be-
your Ovaltine.
Yeah, what if it's just like drink water,
right?
Yeah.
stay out of the sun, don't die.
It's like a
Oh, I know exactly what it says. Do better.
yeah.
Suck less. It's that whole translation. No, but what in your mind, what would be like best case scenario for what you're finding out from the tablet?
I guess in my mind, I really don't know. I mean, I would hope that whatever we found in this completed Rosetta Stone maybe would give us more insight into maybe Egyptian history or how their language started. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
that's always kind of like
the
a
origin
thing that-
state.
Yeah, something's always kind of like I've always thought about like how did people start talking like this? Like how did languages start
You
forming?
started it off yourself with this episode grunting. That was the start right there. And they're like, I like the sound of that. Do more of that. Oh.
What I think would be fascinating is like finding like a dead language that's just
There you go.
that we
Yeah.
know existed but have
Right.
no records of
Absolutely.
because it wasn't
Mhm.
like phonetically written out. I don't know if Aramaic is that dead or not, but like the
Mm.
language that Jesus spoke,
Right.
Oh, there you
quote
go.
unquote. I think that would be pretty fascinating. For those of you who don't know, the Rosetta Stone is it has two types of Egyptian on it. One's in hieroglyphics and one's in their long form of writing, and then Greek.
Yeah, and then Greek. Yeah.
And this was basically like a receipt. And with it, we were able to bridge a lot of gaps in human language and in communications because we had 3 of the exact same text written out in 3 different languages in the same thing.
It's pretty wild.
So like seeing like an alien language, one that you've never seen, that your buddies have never seen, I think that would be fascinating in its own. But like that kind of weighs on me too if I'm donating it to a private bidder
Right.
versus a museum. Like who even knows like what either one of them would do with it?
Yeah.
Right.
Or is it just going to sit somewhere?
Right.
Just like, hey,
You just sit somewhere. We have it.
Yeah.
We don't know what to do with it, but we're
we're
going
going to hold on to it, not let anybody else have it.
Yeah,
Maybe people could see it, but
I think the Getty collection is a private. It's not a private exhibit because you can see it, but I believe it's privately owned.
okay.
So like, there's
Interesting.
still a display for it, but like that person, like
They own all that stuff.
right,
So
right.
They're
Right.
just allowing the
You're
public to come
allowing
and
you to see it for
Yeah.
a price.
For a price. You
Yeah.
got to pay for a ticket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Do you think this would like lean into that it was an established like just language or people that have died, or do you feel like there would be any room for interpretation of like being visited from extraterrestrials?
That's kind of what I'm
Ooh,
thinking.
Yeah. I
that's,
mean,
that's kind of what I mentioned earlier about saving us from conspiracy theorists.
Right.
Like I feel like those would come out of the woodwork.
If this was
or
like,
try
alright.
to relate this to something to be like, this is an older species. This is an older beings had this, or the gods from before, or something like
right.
that.
Right.
It's
Like
where
the
my mind
written
would turn.
language of the Neanderthal.
Yeah,
Right.
something
or like
cool.
a lost human type civilization.
City
something
of
like that.
Atlantis.
Right? Yeah.
You never know.
You never like something like that. That'd
Yeah.
be kind of cool. Like, or there's humans have been around for a lot longer, maybe maybe not on this planet, but other planets, maybe.
Right.
Yeah. You know,
Maybe like,
thinking about it too, like if this was an alien language and this
Mhm.
stone is 2,200 years old, give or take, that would be crazy too, because this unknown written language in a time where we already had written language, we already knew what languages like.
yeah, there's already languages
Right.
involved. They created.
Definitely be
Yeah.
a precursor to these things
You would
that are
really
known.
wonder, like, why is this one language so different?
Right,
Where
that
did
we've
it-
never found any other piece of text, any other piece of
Right.
written down ever, or these symbols. It would make your imagination go wild. So I
Yeah.
see why you want the answers, brother.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to. I think it would be really awesome to see something like that or discover something like that.
So is your like demand going to be like the Xavier stone?
No, he's actually going to be taxidermied, and he has to stand as the exhibit holding the Rosetta Stone.
Exactly.
He's actually hugging the two pieces
Yeah.
together.
I'm
He's
holding it.
what's
I'm
binding.
Yeah,
I
I'm
like
binding
it.
it together.
I like it. That's pretty good.
And then you see it like buckling my ankles and stuff, like because it's heavy.
It's heavy as hell. Your body's broken.
Yeah, just crushed under it.
That's
You're
the
done.
exhibit. Well, we're going to take a small break to do some ads. We'll come
Right on.
back in just a minute.
Oh yeah.
Hi, folks. My name is Corey Andre, creator and host of the Weekly Tall Talk. I would like to say thank you for listening to today's episode. If you like what you've been hearing, we would love to know what you think. After the episode, don't forget to leave a comment or reach out to us on our socials, where you can find us at the Weekly Tall Talk. We're excited to say that we're working on a couple other awesome projects for this year. If you would like to know more about that, or find out what else we're working on, we have a Patreon and Discord that you can subscribe to, where we can be found at Tall Tale Network. And if you have any other questions or ideas for what you'd like us to discuss on the show, please email us at talltalenetwork@gmail.com. And welcome back from those ads. Thank you for listening to them. We really do appreciate it. I got another short story for you guys that's going to continue the first half of the Would You Rather. So I'm very excited. I hope you guys are too.
Oh man.
I'm very.
Okay. I don't know. Wait. No, I'm not as excited.
Oh, man.
Wait, no.
You back up now?
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, he's back.
So you've sold the item to a private collector. He's a small, suspicious child with unfortunately large hands. He keeps calling you Dr. Jones, but does not like when you call him Short Round. Do not call him that. He even says it with the accent. It makes everyone uncomfortable. This makes you mad because you don't like being uncomfortable, so you decide to steal the top half of the Rosetta Stone back like some kind of Nathan Drake type, possibly killing anyone who's trying to stop you. It doesn't even make your dreams bad at night either. You don't feel anything for those people you kill. Sometimes you bring it up at dinner. You were that mad.
I see why you kept me in the dark on this one.
So with that in mind,
Hi.
how much does cultural significance matter when it comes to buying and selling things for a private collection?
I love that story.
Mm-hmm.
Cale, we're going to go with you, man.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah, absolutely. No time to process
I think
that.
this is, you guys knew I was going to take the money, and this is my punishment.
100%.
Okay. So I'm stealing it back. I'm killing unknown amount of people.
Yeah.
Anybody gets in
Just
your way.
don't call the kid Short Round.
No, he doesn't
Well,
like
what's
it.
he going to do if I do?
He'll hit you with those big fucking hands.
Damn.
He's got
Why do you think they
punched?
That's why they got so big. They're
Yeah.
swollen from hitting so many people.
Damn.
Yeah. Very
Kid's
unfortunately
problematic.
large.
Problematic ass little kid.
Yeah, but he has a lot of money, and
yeah.
he gave you the $77 billion you needed.
That's the guy.
So I got the money, and now I've stolen it back, and I got to murder.
Mm-hmm.
Where's
You were
the
just
downfall?
that pissed.
I'm set.
You were that mad.
I'm that mad. I just killed all these people and stole my stuff back
Yeah.
and kept the money.
Yeah.
Hell,
We know who we're
yeah.
writing for.
Oh yeah. So how much does it matter? I think it matters a lot, especially to countries that, you know, it's your history, your
Right.
lineage, your cultural significance of things, why things are done a certain way, and it's able to show that or reflect that. I think it's very important to hold on to those things and have them accessible for people. But whenever you do what Corey and I do and sell them to private collectors and shorty, I mean, it takes away from that.
Mm.
But I feel like sometimes people are uninformed or don't know about their history or most of these things, and you're not really missing out because you never knew about it. So how much of that happens, I don't know.
Mm.
Like these are very significant in history or at least not spoken about as often. So it doesn't have the traction for you to be like outraged about like not, where are they?
Mm.
Nobody asked those, but they're in private collectors or in people's homes or vaults or whatever.
But a lot of these things are there is history attached to them. Like some of these things aren't just found in the ground. They're taken from a people or things.
Right.
Like a lot of the things that we have in museums and private collections are taken from other people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Either through force or wartime or
Right.
Just-
yeah.
basically when you ruled over those people, you just take their stuff.
So like is it important as a private buyer to really understand the item you're getting? Like, Do you think people like that even care?
You
That's a
take
good
this
point. I
one.
mean,
I'm curious.
Moving on.
Right, what,
So the wheels were turning.
they were turning, and I fried up. What was ask your question again? You were always
I don't remember.
No, we were just talking about with private collectors have these items. There is history attached to them, but
Yeah.
how do you? I don't even remember what we were saying. I
That's-
thought I was going to get there, and I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got fried.
Yeah.
Secondhand fried.
With private collectors, like, are they sharing it with other people? 'Cause
Mostly not. Like I
I
brought up
wouldn't
the
imagine.
Getty, and that's the collection that I know about that is available to public. But like even then, there's things within that collection that are not. Like they're still behind closed doors, and you don't know what these people have. Like rarely do you know what private collectors
Right,
own or
exactly.
don't.
That's
And,
true,
and
yeah.
tying back into what the question was, it was like, does the person have an attachment to it, or is it even significant to them to have these things?
Right.
Rather, is it just I want to have it because this is very significant? It's like a power thing. It's a power dynamic.
Yeah.
Or do you actually care about like I'm
Yeah.
very, very enthusiastic about this point in history or this culture. I want to own that piece of thing instead of like looking at it as like, oh, I'm detracting and not letting people see it. Just, ooh, I'm so into it that I want it.
Yeah.
How much of that is like a power trip or just what money can do for you?
I think it there's probably people that are like that in different like categories. Like there are people that want to collect things because they, like you said, Cale, they enjoy that stuff. They love that stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, they want to collect it, and keep it as a private collection of their own, just because they're interested in it. And maybe there's like, I'm sure there's a bunch, but like the Warrens, they have their own like
Ghost
paranormal.
hunters.
Yeah, exactly. They have their own paranormal like stuff that they collected that was like possessed or like cursed art items and artifacts.
Yeah,
and stuff.
they have like a whole room of paranormal shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Allegedly.
Friend of the show, the Warrens.
The Warrens.
Yeah, guys, easy. They're a benefactor. Okay, move on.
But yeah, like that. I wonder if, I mean, I'm sure there's people that collect stuff they want to share and show, but it seems more like private collection stuff. It's like, I just want to collect it for myself.
I agree with that.
And
I think
I love the history, or I love this topic. I want to
Right.
keep it.
Right.
And I want something that I can come into a room and be like, oh, look what I have. Stuff like
right.
that.
I think the other half of that is you being for you to have these things, to even purchase these things or have these things, you have to have such a grasp of things or money or access. I think it's another thing to like not one up other elite people, but just to say, this is what I have in comparison to other people that have a lot of money or this or that. It's mostly probably, I would imagine these people just have these things, show them off once a month when they see somebody, and then that sits in a dark room.
Yeah.
You know, and they don't really, I mean, to your point earlier, it could be like not even to a point of where you care about it. It's just like, this is very significant. I have it. That's my power. I'm able to acquire these things.
I wanted to ask that question in particular is like how you're saying one side of the coin, and then I think the other side of the coin is petty as fuck and saying, not only do I have this, but I have this because you don't have it. Fuck you.
I think that plays a huge part, to be honest with. It's like, I've built up this fortune, or my family's this important. I get to have things that no one else gets to have. And that's my right as being a powerful person or a person who has a lot of wealth.
Yeah.
Right. In that, like, I think, what is it? Corey, you had an example of that. Like somebody bought a Wu-Tang record.
Yeah. So Xavier's talking about a guy named Martin Shkreli. You might have heard his name.
Terrible name.
Terrible person.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Martin. We're not a friend.
Scorsese.
Not a
Shkreli.
friend of the pod.
No.
If you don't know who I'm talking about, Martin Shkreli, his nickname is the Farmer Bro because he got hired on by a pharmaceutical company. He's a very arrogant piece of shit. And he rose the price of a life-saving drug about 3,000%, making it completely unaffordable.
Of course.
Because it was profitable. In any case, he made a lot of money from that. There's a whole other like a legal thing. Look into him if you're interested. He's a very interesting piece of shit. But during his quote unquote height within the zeitgeist, within the media, he was like on trial for a bunch of shit. And the Wu-Tang Clan made an album that they were going to sell to the highest bidder, and it was a one-off. There was nobody was going to get to hear the songs on the album. You couldn't have it was just one thing, and that was it. So Martin Shkreli outbid everybody else because he's a rich piece of shit. And I'm sure that he may have been a fan of the Wu-Tang Clan or is in some capacity, but from what I understood, the way that as soon as he won that bid, his whole thing was, I have this, fuck you. You don't have it. You don't get to listen to it. Look, and he took pictures with himself, holding it. And he was just doing it to get people aggravated because they couldn't access something that he had.
He had a power dynamic. He had a thing of I have the power to do this. You can't.
Yeah.
Tough shit.
And the Wu-Tang Clan, I think sued him after he because he lost his case. He went to prison for a couple years. And I think the Wu-Tang Clan either released the album after that or not. I'm honestly unclear. I should have looked it up. But if that piques your interest, check it out. Martin Shkreli and the Wu-Tang Clan.
I'm sure there's literally a million of these guys that do the exact same thing.
Right.
One of one printing, one of one this, one of one that. They just want it because it's that limited supply of you'll never see this or you'll never have it.
Right.
I think that's a huge thing for people in the elite class, the top 1%, any of that stuff. It's basically, I'm able to do this,
I wonder if
so I'm going to.
Yeah, I wonder if they have the fear of missing out or something like that.
Or
it's maybe not to the extreme, to the extent maybe somebody like myself, wanting to get a certain
gun.
Yeah, right. Or something like that. Or oh man, that's so cool. But maybe that's something maybe not to the degree they'll never see it. They just I don't get it because I can have it. And I don't want anyone else to have it.
So I kind of there's a question I want to ask, but before I get to that, I kind of want to bring up the idea of private collections as a non-elite. How okay is it for you to own a collection of anything and not show people? Stamps, Pokemon cards, fucking whatever. Does what you own because of the monetary value or the historical value really change what it is that you're collecting or owning? Because most people won't see my private Magic the Gathering card collection.
Yeah.
But I own them. I know I have them and I have some pretty cool cards. So good for me, but there's no significance to it. It's not important to the world.
Right.
No. And that's, I mean, I look at some of the things that I have and it's I look at it I have too much of this. Yeah. And it's and I look at it why do I have so much of this? Well, because I like it. But then, and there's two sides of my thought process there. I like these things, but I'm does it serve a purpose? Right, is it actually going to do something for me or am I just going to stare at it on the wall?
So one would have to assume that when you're in that elite class of being able to purchase and sell these kinds of goods, that same thought process would be there.
Yeah, I think it would matter. I think the most significant factor about it is if it brings you joy.
Yeah, if it has meaning to you.
If you have a collection, you could have a collection of anything, but if it's important to you, I think that justifies it. So that's probably how these people see it.
Yeah.
Maybe. The other half that aren't just I want it, so you can't have it. I think it plays a part of I went without when I was growing up, but I really liked comic books. So now I'm buying all the first edition Marvels and I want to have them to myself.
Yeah. You'd never had it before. And you're now I have the means of getting it.
Exactly. So I think
go for it.
Half of that is probably, like you said, how's that significance? I think it all boils down to if you care about it. If you collect stuff that you give, you couldn't give less of a shit about.
Yeah.
And you just have it to have it. I think that's just gatekeeping on the extreme level.
Yeah, or you have a hoarding problem.
Yeah, exactly. I need stuff to fill the garage.
I just got so much stuff. I don't know what to do with it. I don't even look at it.
And build a whole other room for it.
Yeah.
We're expanding the East Wing. I got Chia pets.
With this idea in mind, in the grand scheme of things, do you think that private collection of artifacts actually matters to the world?
Mm-hmm.
If you own a historical, culturally significant icon, fetish, statue, what have you, that the world knows about, does it matter that you have it if people are wanting it back? Because you bought it, it's yours.
Yeah, legally you own it. If you buy it or purchase it, it depends on the means of how you own it. If you bought it illegally, it's still illegal.
So do these mass amount of private collections that we know exist, do they even matter? Because we're not fully aware of what they have anyways, and our lives continue on.
True.
All these things are done behind doors, and there's stuff probably that survived or is out there that we have no idea about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I don't think it maybe to me it may not matter as much because I just like you said, Corey. I don't know what's out there. I don't know what people have. Um, I mean, if it's something that's like going to be a huge benefit to mankind, and someone's just solely holding on to it or hoarding it for selfish reasons or whatever,
Yeah.
I think it's kind of messed up. If it's something like that, that can help everybody, sure, I think people should know about it. But if someone's just keeping it quiet and not wanting to give up or show it,
So then the weight of it really is how important it is for the world.
Basically,
Yeah,
I think that's like striking the nail on the head. Like if
Does it
it's
have an
some
impact?
crown that from whatever century and it was like the symbol of royalty in this country and that's what it was and it was long lost. I mean, it's cool to see, cool to have, but like what significance does that have in today's era?
Yeah.
So I think it depends on like the significance of what it is, but also how exposed people are to what you have. You know what I mean? If there's like a lot of history that people are either like not told or has been lost, and it's like in hands of private people or it's family heirlooms at this point, say somebody bought it 100 years ago and you just keep passing it down. Is it your fault that you held on to it? Is it up to you if it's been in your family that long, if you donate it back or how significant it is? I don't know. I feel
it's kind of hard to really answer that because as far as I understand, none of us have something that is that important in any context.
No.
Like, family jewelry or whatever is passed down, like things that you inherit are important to you. They're not important for the world mostly.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of these collections might be operating out of like sentimentality.
Yeah.
Something that reminds them of something. So they want it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah. Something that's like reminds them of their family, past, culture.
So I guess who's really to determine how much significance these artifacts have? Like, there's archaeological digs happening all over the time, or all the time, all around the world, and people are finding these things. They're going to museums or private collections, but they're being outsourced from the place that they were found at. And when so I'll bring up the example of there's cities being discovered in South America right now because we're using LiDAR to map out the jungle, and we can see where civilizations have existed. So
that's cool.
There's the discovery process of seeing, okay, this is the year this was made. This is where these people were at intellectually and culturally. So in the discovery of it, it's important, but afterwards, is it as important? Because you've already documented, it's there. You can share this information and we can read about it. But is it as important as us being able to physically see it or go visit it?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if I guess I don't know if it is as important unless it's important to you, like to the individual. Maybe.
Okay.
Like if they're willing, like, that discovery, I want to go see that, or I want to go put my own eyes on it, maybe. But I was thinking of some, I don't want to get sidetracked on a different top. Well, like, how there's like
that's what we do.
It's the weekly talk.
The weekly talk. There's some tribes, civilizations that are still like they're not with modern times. Like they live on certain islands and they throw spears and arrows at helicopters and stuff. I forgot I don't remember what tribe or whatever they're called or where it was located.
It was somewhere around Papua New Guinea. I know what you're talking about.
Hey, this is the editor from the future. It's not an island near Papua New Guinea. It's the Andaman Islands, near Myanmar. Corey's wrong and an idiot. Back to your show.
They have purposely cut off all contact with the outside world. They live on an island, and if you approach the island, they will kill you.
Right, exactly, because it's all foreign stuff.
Yeah.
And then everybody just leave them alone. Let them live.
Yeah, there's been several people who's tried to contact these people. The last one I remember was a Christian missionary who really, really wanted to bring them to God, and they let him meet him first.
You go up there and tell them about us.
Yeah, right, exactly.
We'll send you there, dummy.
But I mean that's kind of interesting too. Just they're stuck in a time period, and they're not going to go anywhere else. They don't want to go anywhere else,
right?
And then we just leave them alone.
Yep.
Like don't
Right.
mess with them. I mean, granted, it's probably going to be death if you go over
Yeah,
there.
if you want to go, if you want to die, sure. Go
right.
ahead. Got a one-way ticket.
But yeah, I think that's kind of that's interesting.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah, I think
These-
like wrapping back around, I think you hit it with saying I think it's very individualistic. It's if you want to see things with your own eyes versus seeing it through the phone, what's the difference really? Other
Right.
than the personal feeling that you would get from witnessing this in person, right?
yeah, an accomplishment.
I mean,
of like,
Yeah, an
going
accomplishment
out,
to, I guess, like seeing something right there, you're like, oh, that's proof
yeah,
versus like through the phone. So I can see like that part of it. But I think it's a very individualistic thing, especially if you're from that country. It would like maybe mean more to you.
Yeah, probably represent a lot more.
Yeah, versus
sure,
like us
yeah.
over here and being like, oh, that's really cool. But that's where it ends.
yeah.
Well, think about that while we go to Az, bitch.
That was a perfect text.
That was perfect.
Perfect text.
Hey there, this is Corey from the Weekly Tall Talk podcast. If you like what you've been hearing, please consider going to patreon.com/TallTaleNetwork and becoming one of our patrons. We'd really appreciate it, and you'd help us get out some content later this year. Thanks.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that ad. Sorry for calling you the B word. I didn't mean it.
I did.
Oh,
Sorry.
oh, I did.
Well, with that in mind, we got another short story for you.
Mm.
I hope you're glad. I hope you're excited to continue the journey.
Oh, very.
I am. I love this journey.
I have no idea what's going on. So I'm in the dark. People
I got
out
no
there,
idea.
don't blame me. I am just a victim like you.
Cale's in the dark on this one.
Yeah, perfect. So, with the stone back in your care, you found a scholar willing to take a look at and piece together the full Rosetta Stone. This person is short too, but not nearly as angry as Short Round was, but still a little bit angry. Now, this guy takes the stone and puts it on top of the other one to make it bigger than before. Only this time, they put it in a museum instead of a house so other people could look at it. The stone scientist said the language found could cure cancer and also get us to Mars. We're heroes now. And everyone in the world, except for that one kid with the unsettling hands, are our friends now. And we live in our own homes. But we don't have to pay. They're big homes. That's how much people like us. So with that in mind, are museums ethical?
I'm starting to see why I was kept in the dark.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So I get all of these things. People all like us. I stole the Rosetta Stone back.
Yeah.
I find out all these things. I keep my 77 billion.
You're a hero.
And I'm a goddamn American hero.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. That is the American way of giving something to someone,
Stealing
taking
it back,
their money and then stealing it back.
and then saying, look what I did.
Look what I did.
Look what I did it. We did it. No, I
You're a patriot, sir.
did. Anybody else cure him before me? No. I did. I'm riding this horse all the way. Are they ethical? If it's your country's shit,
Hey, man, that's what we're asking.
If you
Yeah.
have other countries' stuff and they don't want you to have it and you still have it, shame on you.
Looking at you, British Museum of History.
You fuckers, we're coming. We're going to burn it down. No,
Fucking-
that's
Give me
even
the-
worse.
Yeah,
all the
nobody
history.
gets it.
Yeah.
Nobody gets it now. Stupid British.
Wait, what did I do? Damn it.
I've made a huge mistake.
No, but
I'm probably not a hero anymore.
No. I mean, maybe over here they'd be like, "Yeah, you did it. We took it to them, boys." But ethical, yeah. I mean, because then that's like a way for you to share history and share these great things with people who would never otherwise see them.
Mhm.
But I think, like I said, it all boils down to if it belongs to your country, do you have a right to have it? And I don't know who determines that.
Right.
But I think it should go to like, if you can rightfully display this and have it, then you should. But if not,
Yeah.
give it back.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat there too. Like if it's something historical that's well, maybe just historical, or if it belongs to another country, they should
Yeah.
have it, or at least they should. Maybe we have a mock copy of it, or one country has a fake copy
Right.
of it, and then they have the actual,
You have the
thing,
authentic
the
piece, and
authentic
then you
piece.
But
can
then
display whatever.
why even go to the museum? Like we said, if we have a copy of it,
right?
it's a simulacrum of the original thing. Why not just look at it on your phone?
True. Yeah, and I guess at that point, like you could just look it up online.
Right.
Look up the actual.
Right. That's our
artifact and-
access. But I mean, everything we're getting more integrated to where we can see things or experience them or read articles or see a random video pop up of something you didn't even know you were going to be interested in, and it just shows up on your feed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the plus of like having the internet. But for you to physically see something, I mean, if it was important to you or your country, I think it would be cool to see it in person. But
So then
I don't know.
So then I guess we'll go back to the other section of privately owned collections. Like those, I guess we could agree are probably unethical for the most part,
Right.
in terms of everything.
Right.
But like museums are more or less the same thing. They are a private collector, but you get to pay admission to go see the shit they have.
Right.
Right. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think you should have private collections of things of historical, like, sentiment,
How everything is historical.
right? So if you have like the first edition of like a comic book or something like that, you should not be able to have it.
Is that what you're saying?
Maybe, but I think that goes with sports too. Like sports stuff, like sports memorabilia is a huge market.
Yeah.
And I guess you could get autograph stuff, but like actual things from the sports, I feel like people have to sell that. So that's like a choice versus something being found or taken.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah. Well, we're talking about memorabilia.
yeah, like if you have a thing, it's technically yours. Like if
Yeah.
you wear a jersey, you play for that sports team, it belongs to you and
Yeah.
you sell it. That's different from, oh, while I was here, I found this artifact and I'm going to take it back to my country
And sell it.
and sell it. Or even in terms of just a museum, I found it. I'm going to bring it back because I think people would like to look at this.
Ah.
It's not yours. Put it back.
I think that
Mhm.
time really plays an important factor on how like that's a very silly thing as I'm saying. Yes, time and value coincide. If we're talking about sports though, like what if you found like an old ball from like ancient civilization, right? Like Mexico, we know had like latex balls that they played as sports with. And at the time, that was just the item that they played with. There was no significance to it outside of the immediacy of using it. So finding it now, there's history, there's so much context that we provide to it. So how does that like go? Do we have that same reverence if like I have a Kobe jersey and like if I found it in 2000 years, are you saying it's not right to give away or donate because it's Kobe's jersey?
I feel it
Hmm.
depends on the level of engagement with something. We find something from 2,000 years ago. How many people are going to know about that versus Kobe's stats from the year they won the championship? More people are going to know something as a Laker fan,
Yeah,
than the people on hand are going to know, oh, 2,000 years ago, that's what this is for. So I think it all depends on, like you said, time.
Yeah.
Time plays a huge thing, but also what's relevant in the time. Like right now, we brought up sports memorabilia and stuff like that. That's relevant now. Those are people who
Yeah.
have died in our lifetime.
yeah, it's a
done
very
this.
recent thing.
But
Yeah.
if we have something sword from 1500 years ago, and we say, "Oh, that's a cool sword," but that's probably where it might end.
Yeah.
Versus like, "Oh, I know a lot about that," unless you have an interest in that to begin with.
Right. Yeah.
I think the availability of information and like what's relevant to you matters. So in terms of having like private collections of sports stuff, I don't think it's on the same level as having private collections of cultural significance in terms of a country's development. Like a Kobe jersey isn't like cultural development for us.
Right.
It's just Los Angeles sports history.
Yeah. It's just
And that's the same
man.
thing I'm saying if like we discovered an old ball from ancient civilization, ancient Mexico or Central South America, like the reverence for it is because it's so old. So we take this Kobe jersey, fast forward 1,000 years and somebody finds it in a trunk. Is it more valuable then than it is now?
Yeah, probably a little bit. Yeah. It's like with old jerseys from back in like when baseball, stuff when sports started being like appearing and stuff like
more modern
when it first started being professional.
Yeah. And so you get like jerseys from star players, 30, 40 years ago. They're worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
Stuff, signed stuff, things like that. But I think, like it's like the balls thing. It's at that time it was nothing to sneeze at. It was a cool ball or whatever, something to play with. Now, fast forward, it's like, okay, that's cool. That's ancient. That's history. Like this is one of the first balls created or whatnot or played with.
Yeah. And all of the information on it would be documented, but there's nothing else you could glean from it. It then becomes another object.
Yeah. Other than that, it's like, this is from this time period. This is what it was, this was how it was made.
Yeah.
What materials were used for it. You learn about it and that's it really.
Yeah.
I think this also depends on like levels of nefariousness. Huge collections of serial killer stuff, memorabilia, terrible things that have happened. That's a huge thing. You get to own these pieces of like kind of evil history.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the name of that is? There's a certain term for getting like serial killer and like horrific items that have been used.
Called being up. No, but no, you're into whatever you're into.
But
I think that plays a part too, because you're like, are you more prone to say like, dude, this is from Bonnie and Clyde. These are like the actual doors, or this is the actual car that they got shot up with.
Yeah.
Versus like a chariot or something like that, like nefariousness. A story coming along with something also plays a huge part in what's
that's a really interesting point to make too.
Yeah. If it's an everyday piece of life, it's like, yeah, but we've advanced so far past that versus, damn, two people got murdered in this, or this was Elvis's car. It's because he owned it and there's a history to it. It's not just, oh, that's just a pink Cadillac.
Yeah. And it's so interesting because like documentation of things like that is also fairly modern as far as I understand it.
Yeah, wanting to make sure it's real. That's legit.
And to have as much information as you possibly could glean from this before putting it somewhere.
Yeah. There's a lot of artifacts that are put in places and then like, hey, a standard this, a standard that. This would have been used by this person in this part of history instead of like a very specific, this was tied to blah, blah, blah.
Which
like
I guess
Dahmer's classics or whatever. It's
Oh,
the story that comes with it or the significance of that person itself too.
Yeah.
That makes part. This is Cleopatra's thing versus this is just a person's.
Yeah.
Right?
It's tied to a significant person at the time.
Alexander the Great stuff versus just a random soldier.
Versus just Alexander's stuff.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah.
No, you want Alexander the Great. That's Alexander the okay. We don't want him.
And this is his brother Alex Mid.
He's very mid.
He's the worst one.
He's fine.
He's the worst one.
So I guess are we agreeing that it's not really responsible for historical museums to have artifacts from other countries? Because like this is I know we're a cursory question, but it's something that is asked of like museums for a very long time. What right do you have to own this thing that was not yours?
Right. Yeah.
And still is not.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Nothing's changed. It's still not yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we can be. I'm in agreement with that. Like it's just it doesn't belong. It didn't come from your country. It's not from your culture or heritage or past or whatever. And it should be given back. I mean, unless it's like something where like they don't have a way of storing it. Then
that's exactly what I was going to say.
We'll store it for you or whatnot. But
so that's like that point exactly is what museums bring up. And as a way to keep other cultures and other countries from having the things that were theirs.
It's like you can't.
Yeah,
you
a very, very good example is there was a person from Africa who belonged to a certain group of people. I don't know if it was a tribe, but his lineage goes back a very long way. And within his lineage, he was tied to an authority figure, a king or a ruler of some type. And England, during their escapades, found this artifact and took it back to one of their museums. And then this guy went to the museum. He's like, I know what that is. It belongs to me because it's part of my history. It's literally part of my family.
Yeah.
And the response is, well, we can't give it to you because you live in Africa. You don't have the resources to take care of it. You're not smart enough to know what to do with this. And it becomes this whole colonialist mindset of you can't be good enough to care for the things that you have or created.
That is a good point to bring up, because what you said, it's like, I was thinking that same thing before you brought that up. It would be about you being able to have the facilities available to make these things safe, have these being temperature controlled, whatever, if it's like old papyrus scrolls or some kind of literature or something that would just waste away if it wasn't stored the right way.
Yeah. Right.
You would have to like make the means to do that. But the right thing would be to give that back and make sure that they have those things to be able to do it, so they have it. And it's not this excuse of, oh, well, it's going to disintegrate in 10 years and nobody will see it.
Yeah.
I think we're all in agreement. Give stuff back to where it comes from, or even donate it in a part of like saying, oh, like in like correlation with this museum, this exhibit's brought to you by you donating the chamber that this could be held in.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
But obviously I think like countries are entitled to have their own history and their own artifacts in their own country. That is a no-brainer to me. I think it's stupid to think otherwise.
I like what you mentioned, Cale, like help them or help whatever country make a facility that can house that kind of thing.
Donate.
It reminds me of there's a YouTuber that I watch. He's Jerry Riggs Everything. He has a wheelchair. His wife's in a wheelchair, and he builds a really low cost wheelchairs for people who can't really afford, because they're expensive.
That's
like,
cool. Oh yeah,
several grand just for
stuff,
a hand wheelchair.
Yeah.
And so he builds it with he has his own shop, and he builds wheelchairs at a way low affordable cost that blows everybody else out. And he had a project where he was asking a lot of viewers to donate books to him, just any books. And he created a library, I think somewhere in Kenya. And there was a whole project he just helped building a whole library that didn't have a library over there.
Oh, cool.
And all those books that all his viewers donated got put in that library.
That's dope.
Something like that. But when you said about creating, and that's what that brought that thought to my mind, is like, you can help create something to house these artifacts so they can be at their home where they came from.
Yeah. And just bottom line, you're saying, oh, well, it's not safe. You don't know how to do it. That's still ours. If we're going to ruin our own history, let us ruin.
Exactly.
Still our stuff.
It's like if it's going to get taken over, or there's some group that comes in and tries to raid it or steal it or do this, it's still our stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
You have no right to tell me what to do with my stuff. You know, I think that's
like
wild for you to be like
freak, like type of
controlling
thing.
It's another way of control.
Are unable to do this. So we're going to hold on. Sorry, peon.
Yeah, exactly. How
you're too low level. We had to hold on to this. Sorry.
Come back to us when you have $1 billion.
Yeah, exactly.
That way you can buy.
So I mean, there's ways to do that, to give the money back. I want the money, but give the stuff back, but donate the means to keep it safe. Donate the things, even if you need credit for it, which sounds like they do. Give it back and say, this is this expansion from blah, blah, blah. Or, we preserved it for this long, so now you guys take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be
held it this
back
long,
and
and now we have a way you guys have a way to hold it. We helped you build a facility to hold it. And there. But it's our stuff.
I do feel like the facility thing that you guys are agreeing on is still a goalpost.
It is.
And it's one more thing to hinder getting back the thing that rightfully belongs to you when you're
Agreed.
Yeah.
I was saying it would be the right thing to do.
It would be
But they would
to
never-
help
they would never.
continue the survivability of these objects and artifacts. Yes,
Preserve
it would
them,
be
yeah.
the right thing. But I mean, as we know, like museums just don't do that. They
No.
don't. Not only won't they do that, but they probably don't have the funding either.
Yeah.
Right.
They
to just
want-
be like, oh, let's expand this and give it to someone else. No.
they're-
right.
why waste money?
Yeah.
when
Why would
could
we
make
do that?
more money? Yeah, exactly.
When we can get the money. 77 billion. Baby.
But yeah,
Well, you heard it here, folks. Never go to museums and kill all billionaires. Take their stuff. Who gives a shit?
Gotta do it.
That's how we're gonna end the episode.
That's fine.
Oh wait, you guys wanted a conclusion for the story?
Hell yeah. What other short person is mad at me?
Well, Dr. Scientist was unable to decipher the language on the stone. They quit the next day, but hey, at least your name's on the plaque next to the completed stone.
There you go.
So, Kip,
All right.
if we're going to find you online, no, thank you, everyone who joined us today for another episode of the Weekly Tall Talk. We really do appreciate you. If you would like to find us online, you can find Cale over at.
On TikTok, you can find me at bearded_giant. Also on my personal Instagram at talltailcale with the underscore in between each word. But also don't forgive ever. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube. We have a channel over there at the Weekly Tall Talk. We just passed 50 subscribers and we're looking to make another milestone. So hell yeah, we appreciate the support. Looking to get back into the live shows again. So those will be on the horizon. But give us a follow and hit that bell for subscriptions.
Get that like button. Thumbs up.
Ding, ding.
Money.
Where's I hit the bell?
Money.
I'll
noties.
have you go after me. And if you want to find me online, you can follow me on Instagram at Corey.Andre. That's COREY_ONDREY. I try to respond to every message in a timely manner. Sometimes I'm not good about it because I hate Instagram, but it is what it is. We also have a Instagram for the show at the Weekly Tall Talk. Please give us a follow there. Send us messages. And we are posting some skits this year. We got a few other photo collages going out that we're really excited for, and we are stoked to share with you the adventures for this year of the Weekly Tall Talk.
Oh,
So please
yeah.
follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And Xavier, what do you got for us?
And if you guys have any answers to today's questions, please feel free to email us at our Gmail account as talltailnetwork@gmail.com. And also, if you guys feel like we have a Patreon as well, you can maybe throw us a couple bucks there, become a member, and get access to some other exclusive things, minor behind the scenes items, and
Open our
recordings.
own museum
oh, there you go.
of our own.
You can find our Patreon at patreon.com/talltailnetwork. And you know how we always do. We'll tall tale you later.